country, and we had really wonderful turnouts here in Iowa and in New Hampshire and all over the country. And by now we've talked to some 400,000 people. Some of the largest turnouts here in Iowa and New Hampshire, all over America. And when we began the campaign, we made a very important decision. We said that, look, I don't represent the interests of corporate America. I don't represent the billionaire class. I don't want their money. We are not going to have a super PAC. Some of the media guys, they said, well, that's an interesting idea, but obviously you can't raise any money. You don't know what's going on in contemporary politics, because what politics today is about is sitting in a room, not with 1,000 people here in Dubuque. Why would you want to waste your time talking to 1,000 people when you can sit in a room with 10 people and come out with $3 million for your super PAC? That's politics today. That's the belief. And we said, well, I'm not going to sit in a room with 20 people raising millions of dollars. I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to do that. Instead, we're going to ask the American people for their help. And you know what's happened? In the last 7 months, we have received 800,000 individual contributions. That is a higher number, more people, than any non-presidential campaign in history. And do you know what the average contribution is? It's about $30. $30.
All right.
So we're bringing forth an interesting idea. I don't know how it's going to play out. But the idea is, yes, you actually can run a winning campaign, a serious campaign, with the support of ordinary people and not being dependent on millionaires, billionaires, and a super PAC. That's what we do. And the other thing that we have done is also interesting. And that is, I remember when I was out on the West Coast, some guy came up to me. And he said, you know, Bernie, what I like about your campaign is that you are treating us as if we were intelligent human beings. Now that's a radical concept unto itself. In other words, I know about polls, and I know about a lot of things, and we know how you can manipulate people and do all of that stuff. But what we are trying to do, which you see is running a not very fancy type of operation, all that we are trying to do is discuss the most important issues facing the American people. Now, unfortunately, to a large degree, what media sees campaigns as about is soap operas. What stupid thing happened on the campaign trail yesterday? What some dumb thing that somebody said? Or how much money did somebody raise or all that stuff? That's not relevant to your lives. What a campaign should be about is you, not me. You, not Hillary Clinton.
Right.
And I know this is a very radical idea. Maybe the campaign should be about the American people and not Donald Trump. I know. The worst place with the media having said that, but what do we do? What the campaign is about, in a democratic society, what should the campaign be about? It's not hard. If you're not feeling well, you got a problem, you go to the doctor, and you want the doctor to make a good diagnosis of your problems and prescribe a treatment to make you feel better. In a democratic society, that's pretty much the same process we should undertake. What are the problems? Why are we not doing well? What do we need to do well? And let's go forward. Now, the problem is that a lot of these issues are more complicated than a 6-second soundbite. And a lot of the issues that we choose to raise end up in conflict with corporate America and the corporate media. But you know what? We're going to talk about those issues anyhow.
Yeah. Hey.
What the campaign is about is a belief that the American people, in a very deep sense, are tired of establishment politics because they see too many politicians simply going out raising as much money as they can to get elected rather than worry about the needs of the American people. And the American people are tired of the economic establishment, because what they are seeing is you working longer hours for low wages, and almost all of the new income and wealth being created going to the top 1%. And what the American people are also tired of is media establishment, because they see a lot of stuff on media, but not very often do they see the reality of America, the pain of America, what people are really going through. And so this campaign is about. This campaign is trying to be honest and lay the issues out on the table. And when I talk about the major issues facing this country, I begin by talking about an issue that I am proud to say is now being discussed a little bit more than it used to be. And that is the issue of income and wealth inequality, which to my mind is one of the more profound moral issues of our time, economic issues of our time, and political issues of our time. And here's what the story is.